is about my last video. It was how to get to level 40 quickly and, things like that. So I'm going to kind of piggyback off that, and today we're going to be doing the how to get to light level 400 quickly. And so yeah, that's it. Let's just get right into it. And so everything you really want to know about to get to light level 400 is pretty much right here. And so contrary to how to get to level 40, you want to kind of stay off kind of the story. If you are level 40 and you haven't completed the story, you can kind of just jump off that. It really doesn't give you anything that increases your light by that much. And it does sometimes do it, but it doesn't do it very often, or it doesn't do it very quickly. And so yeah, like weekly story playlist, that you don't really want to do that. Maybe since it is a bit higher light and it is kind of the lowest light of these things here, apart from the Sea of Crisis Heroic, maybe you might want to be able to do that, but I don't really recommend because it just takes too long and you really won't get much. And so yeah, something that'll really, contrary to the last video, is you really do want to do some Crucible. Maybe not all the time, but it does give you some drops at the end, and you do have a chance of getting a good gun, but that's legendary. And since it's legendary, it will pretty much be much higher light than what you already have, which will in turn upgrade. And so also it's multiplayer, so I mean it's fun. I really like multiplayer. So if you don't really like doing kind of raids and stuff, I would definitely recommend that you do multiplayer instead of like these things. And because it's fun, like I said, and you will have a chance of getting some legendaries or some rares at the end, which will be higher light. And so this is going to be another step as well. So if you do have, like, you did this for a while and then you got some of the legendaries and stuff, and then now you're up to 350, I definitely do recommend that you start doing this, because it will give you engrams, legendary engrams all throughout the strike, and at the end you will be able to get something from the chest or from the drops. And so this is kind of the next step in a way that you would want to do. It is Sea of Crisis Heroic. Now, this does take a little bit of grind, but I do recommend it because it does give you some stuff to get a higher light. And so yeah. And then once you've kind of gone through this, you really want to head on over to the Nightfall Strike. This is pretty hard most of the time, but if you do kind of have some friends or someone that's a little higher than light, it becomes much easier. And once you really get good at it, you can start to solo Nightfalls pretty quickly. It is not really that hard as people say. And it all depends really on these things, the things that kind of change the strike every single time. And so like Specialist here, this probably makes the strike a little bit easier. But if like it's things like that you don't reheal and things like that, yes, it will be a little harder. But like I said, if you really want to do it with some other friends and things like that can help you, then this becomes a bit easier, and at the end you will get a skeleton key, as you can see, and those unknown rewards are a high chance of having a lot higher light level than you. So that is going to be really, really good. But sadly, you can't do this multiple times like this. But either way, if you really want something good and quick, I definitely recommend the Nightfall Strike. And so the Elders thing, I really wouldn't recommend it. It just takes too long. And yes, you do get a legendary engram. I wouldn't maybe do it once, but that's really it. Plus, it is 390, so it is, something that you have to kind of work your way up. But either way, if you do really want one single legendary engram for a 390 light, you can do it, but I really would not recommend it. So the thing that you really want to do, the best thing that you can do, is obviously raids. Now, as you can see here, it's not the only raid. This is just the weekly featured raid. There's raids down here, and there's many more raids now than you can choose from. There's like 4 raids right now that you can choose from, and they all give you good light level stuff. And you might not want to do the featured raid if you don't like that one. If you like some other raid, you can do it. You have much more options apart from people like me that were from year 2. We only had one raid to choose from, and so that's it. And people from year 1, we only had 2 raids to choose from. And so that was a lot, we didn't have as much variety as you guys have, and you guys can do multiple raids in 1 week. And so you could do all 4 raids, and you might, if you were lucky, you can probably get to 400 by doing all 4 of them. And so yeah, that is it. That is how to get to 400. The absolute best thing you can do is raids, but as you can see, it is 390, which will, take a while. But once you are at 390 or at least 385, somewhere around that range, you really want to start doing this, and kind of don't really do this because it's just, like I said, one legendary engram, that's it, and it might not even be higher. But yeah, raids are probably the best thing you can do. And then to start out, I would go with Crucible as well as Strikes. Those are the things that I would kind of start out with to get me up to that level where I can start doing these two things. And so yeah, that is it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.